Hey guys, we're going to give this a minute for people to come on in. Thanks for coming out today, you guys. Go ahead and play this intro that I put together for you guys as you guys come in to the chat. Found some groundbreaking information. Again, by simply searching for the truth is revealed. It's almost as if the truth is waiting to be discovered. That's what we do here on this channel. Sorry about that, you guys. Looks like we crashed again. Unbelievable. Just let some of you guys come in here. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hey guys, enter the stars. Let me go ahead and open up the chat here. Where did that go? Is this it? No, that's not it. Here it is. For those of you that have been on this journey with me to discover the truth and have been part of this journey, you'll recognize the pathway that we discovered as the image enters our eye and how we discovered the kingdom of heaven within. And fix that. Enters our watching eye, a black and how child we discovered the video there. Sorry for all the technical difficulties, you guys. The computer crashed again. Mozilla crashed, and we're going to talk about. This is just unbelievable what these people come up with. So a few of you sent me some information. So we're going to go ahead and get updated on the Cannes Film Festival, the 69th Cannes Film Festival. We're also going to look at how that's all spinning out. And we're also going to look at Prince and how they actually are worshiping him at this film festival. We're also going to look at the number 69. Now, this is the number 69. I thought I might look it up because I knew there was more to this number than we were led on to believe. Now, I want to invite all of you while we're here to our live hangout on Friday, day after tomorrow, and we're going to talk about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And in the introduction, in the actual intro of the show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which went off air in 1996, we see 69 in the graffiti on the wall, center screen, right behind his head. And underneath it, you see the word chaos. Now, back then, of course, that meant nothing. But now, the prince is dead in the year of 69. So all of this stuff is manifesting in this reality in very strange ways that you cannot make up. Some of you call it the Mandela effect. Others, I believe it is more or less the actual fabric of the matrix manifesting before our eyes. In other words, we're seeing the bars of the prison that we are locked in, which is the eyes of good and evil, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, a mysterious place where our actions manifest our reality, the good and the bad acts, a place where it is almost impossible through our actions of being born into this sinful reality, this sinful dimension. It is almost impossible to save yourself, which is why Christ had to come, because you're actually born into this sinful nature. You're born into sin, and there's only one way out. And once we began to recognize and see the bars that are in the prison, that is when you discover that you are in a prison. Several analogies about this, you guys, talking about like elephants being held captive by a rope that they could break just by barely tugging on the rope. But because they were brought up on that rope since they were children, they never try the rope to get away. So they can use the same small rope to imprison the elephant, you see. And we're no different. We are here in this realm, this reality, from cradle to grave, and we don't know how to escape. And then we pile on top of it all of the negative actions, which manifest our own destiny through our own actions, you see. And Christ knew this. He talked about it, which is why he had to come. Also, God said, you will surely die if you eat of that tree. And then the devil says, you will not surely die. Well, because there was that 1/10 of 1,000th of 1% chance that they maybe could have made right choices. And I don't know the bottom line to that, you guys. If there is a way off this realm, a few people did it in the Bible. They transfigured directly. We do know that. But only two, like one or two were mentioned, Elijah and Enoch. Okay. So, yeah, I just got on, you guys. I'm just pontificating about the realm, the dimension that we are locked in of good and evil, in which our actions mathematically dictate our destiny. And without a savior, we just are born and perish in this realm. Okay. The only hope is eternity on the other side and making the best of this life, what we call this life. This is not the intended life, you guys. This is not what God intended for us. All of this pain and suffering, all this uncertainty, death. None of this was intended. We're stuck here because we crossed over into a new dimension when Eve ate of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, let's continue on now that we got some of you in here. Again, it's way short notice, but I was researching the number 69. And here it says 69 may refer also to the registry of the U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. The CVN number on it is 69. Now, I looked up Eisenhower. This is what I found. He's actually born on October 14th, 1890. Well, October 14th is the 287th day of the year with 78 remaining. That's in 8778. Now watch this. He died on the 87th day of the year. So he was born on an 87. This is a great example of what I was telling you guys about birthdays. We did this on our last live hangout. These birthdays, we are seeing the manifestation of the prison bars of our matrix in this man's life, and I've seen this many times. You see the 8778 mirror. Well, he died on the 87th day of the year in 1969. Okay, so 1969 is when he died. And it just so happens that they named this aircraft carrier after him that has the CVN number 69. So let's take a look at this aircraft carrier and see when it was commissioned. Because maybe, just maybe, it was commissioned. Okay, so it was commissioned 10 years, or 69, about 8 years after he died. So they were definitely commemorating his death by naming the CVN number 69, because he died in 69. This is the kind of numerology that most people are in denial about, okay? But the elites use this all the time, all right? Now, this goes on because this is what I found with all this talk of the mic dropping the mic. Boom, boom. Remember, a boom is a term for a microphone. Let's look that up. Boom wiki. I don't think we've showed you guys this yet. Obama, Prince Harry. Let's take a look at this. Boom operator, okay? This is what they're referencing. But here's the guy that holds this. It's an assistant of the production sound mixer. Principal responsibility of the boom operator is microphone placement. So he usually uses a boom pole, okay? This is why Obama had the selfie stick in that what was it? The BuzzFeed. He had the selfie stick because it's like a boom pole, right? And this is like his thing, the microphone, right? Now, but there's other meanings to this, and oftentimes these kinds of this symbology and hidden imagery manifests into several different meanings oftentimes. And this is the one that I found, which was the bombshell. Do you guys remember those old black and white televisions? And they had two knobs on it. There was a top knob and a bottom knob. Now, for some of you that are teenagers or in your 20s or even your 30s, you might not remember this. But I remember it because we would always lose the knob. We would lose the knob and we would have to get pliers. And I always remember thinking to myself when I was a kid, because we were the ones that had to get up and turn the TV, right? It was us who had to get up and go over and turn the television because they didn't have remote controls back then. Gosh, I'm dating myself, aren't I? We didn't have remote controls back then. And so the kids had to get up and turn the television. So when the knob fell off, there was a pliers attached, like what do they call those? Those pliers. You guys know what I'm talking about. The pliers you had to stick on there, and that was what you had to use to turn the television because there was just this little stub hanging out. So you attach the pliers and you turn the TV. And I remember always wondering if I was going to get electrocuted as a kid. I never did. But this is why I remember the UHF and VHF. The top one was the VHF, and the bottom one was the UHF. The top one had numbers on it, and the bottom one had millions of numbers on it, like all these little numbers on this knob, right? And then you could tune in, and there was like four or five local channels on top, and you might catch 3 or 4 or 5 of the bottom numbers of the what they call, I guess it was kind of called the cable before they had cable. And all total, you had about 10 channels. And if you had a really good antenna hanging off the top of your house, you would be able to get maybe twice as many channels. And so everybody had these giant antennas hanging off the top of their house. Now, why am I talking about old televisions from the 80s? I'll tell you why right now. There is a tuning frequency. And according to this number 69, looking at the different uses for the number 69, it is saying that 69 is the last possible television channel number in the UHF band plan. It's the last possible television number is the number 69 in the UHF band plan. So that was like the bottom knob, because remember there was two knobs. The top knob went like 0 to 10. The bottom knob went like, well, it says it right here. Let's take a look. It says here, channels 21 through 69. Here it is right here. So after when you get down to the bottom knob, the highest channel was 69. Now watch this. 61 to 69 inclusive were previously used for licensed and shared wireless microphones. Channel 69 only. It's since been allocated to 4G cellular communications. Now I think I have an iPhone 4. I think this is 4G. No, mine's 3G. I think is 4G the current cellular communication power? Anyone out there in the chat could address that? Is it 4G now? It's not 3G anymore. I think it's 4G or 5G. Oh, it's 4G. Okay, thanks, Albert. So, wow. So basically, right now, the channel 69 is what is being allocated for 4G cellular communication. So all of our cell phones that are using 4G are on this channel 69 that used to be used for wireless microphones. Now, why is this important? Because we already demonstrated we're in the year of 69. So now you see all these presidents and princes dropping microphones and saying, boom, in the year of 69. Dropping microphones and saying boom in the year of 69. Shared wireless microphone channel. I hope that makes sense for you guys, because it's hiding in plain sight for me. Now, let's pop over in the chat, see what you guys are up to. It's watching a Black Child video. Dagger Spells has 4G. So that's amazing. Let's confirm that 4G channel. Google 4G. What channels used for 4G? It'll probably say 69. 4G. It's not telling us. Let's type in 69. See what that does. 4G. All right. 4G light filter. Yep. So this is what it's saying here. TV channel 61 to 69. Let's click on this 4G light filter. So it's giving us the same thing. We just went into a loop, basically. Let's take a look here. So it says here, the other higher channels, former TV channel 61 to 69 being attenuated. What it says here for 4G light filter. Let's see what else we can find here about 69. I don't know what light is. I'm kind of a tech tard when it comes to this stuff. All right. So again, former TV channel 61 to 69 being interval separating the two bands. Risk of interferences. So it keeps mentioning channel 61 to 69. Dividend digital. Okay, so here it is here. This is showing it right here. Dividend digital 4G 69. Interesting. So why are all the channels locked into this 69? Like, why would they set it up that way? That's just weird. And then now we're in the year of 69. What else do we have here? Now, it's saying here that the band plan for American terrestrial television from 1982 until its withdrawal in 2011. How many years did that go? Went 29 years. All right, let's pop back in the chat here. So, wanted to share that with you guys. Callie says we're definitely in the time of our Lord. Yes, they moved to digital TV. When I was a kid, I remember they came in and they jackhammered the whole court. We lived in a court. I grew up in a court, and they jackhammered the court. And when they did that, they dropped in these lines all along, like kind of close to the gutter. They dropped in cable lines. That's how they did it in 19. Gosh, I guess I was about 8 years old, so 1982-ish, 83 maybe. So that's what's going on with that. So that was pretty bizarre. Now we have the Cannes Film Festival coming up. I'm not going to be on here long tonight, you guys. I just wanted to get on here and share that 69 discovery with you and briefly look at the 69th Cannes Film Festival. Now, this is interesting because this festival, the first one took place in 1947, okay? And as we've been saying, it's been 69 years since 1947. Why is that important? Because 47 was a huge year. It was the year of the UFO crash landing in Roswell, New Mexico. It was the year of the Dead Sea Scroll discovery in the Qumran Caves. It was also the year that many argue that it was the beginnings of Israel becoming a country. Okay, so all these things happened in 1947. Now, as you can see, this is a very prestigious, this is the #1 film festival out there. So they got pictures of all the stars. They're commemorating Woody Allen. There's some 69 type imagery, the yin and the yang, the black and the white. He's doing that with his hands. The stars are all dressed to impress, right? So I did a little research into this because the top award for this is the Golden Palm, and it's a palm branch. And I looked this up. It's called the Cannes Palme d'Or, which in French means the golden palm. And I counted these palm leaves, and there are 19 of them. And I don't know what that means specifically, but it's interesting that there are exactly 19 palm leaves on here. I believe, let's take a look at the United Nations and see how many palm leaves are on that. Nations flag, United Nations flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 and 14, so there's 28 on the UN flag. So we do not have a match there. But there are 19 of those on there. Now, if you look at, here's Justin Timberlake. Now, I believe his girlfriend is the girl from Transformers, and she's going to have like a baby, his baby, this year. So I don't know who he came with, but here it is. They got the red carpet. They got all the stars, right? The Cannes Film Festival. Now, it's interesting to note that there were a couple years that the Cannes Film Festival did not take place, but yet they still used that year as a placeholder, those years as placeholders, and they basically acted as if there was a Cannes Film Festival. Let's pull up this Cannes Film Festival in Wikipedia and take a look at it. I'll be in the chat in a minute. If you guys have questions, go ahead and pop those in the chat, and we can talk, have a little discussion when I come back in here. So here's the Cannes Film Festival. And here, and what it used to be the International Film Festival, IFF. And it says here it's founded in 46, but the first one didn't take place till 1947. Let's pull down that right here. 1947, the festival was held as the Festival de Film de Cannes, where films from 16 countries were represented. Now, it's interesting because the first one had 16 countries represented, and we counted 19 of the leaves on the palm. And so 6 is 9, right? 6 is 9. 16 countries represented, but 19 leaves on the palm. So that's 69, and we're in the 69th year of this film festival. So isn't that interesting? So, maybe this year is different. Maybe they're expecting something to happen. And I'm going to show you some clues as to why I think that might happen. But if you read through here, there were several of these that didn't take place, but yet they're still saying this is the 69th festival, even though it's probably like the 67th or 68th. Okay. So this goes on. Let's turn that off. Clock back here in the chat. See what's going on with you guys. Maybe I'll show you one of these pictures of what we're going to talk about on Friday. Now I'm changing the time of the live hangout. I usually do it on Sundays, but I don't know what I'm going to be doing Sunday. So we're going to do it on Friday before Real Talk Live, right? Before Real Talk Live is what we're going to do. We're going to cover Will Smith. Gosh, I'm chomping at the bit to want to do it tonight, but I think that my hangouts are a bit long, and then not as many people want to sit through that, even though it's interesting information and gripping information. It's just too long for some of you to sit through that. So I'm looking at this, and they've got, here's the background, here's the decoration. They got the giant golden palm in the background, all the stars, and they put everything in purple. So this is the opening ceremony, it says right here, and it says singer Matthew Kedid, aka M. Let's copy that. Let's see who this is. Control C. It looks like they did some kind of like this is some kind of remembrance of Prince. Okay, they call it a tribute, right? Well, let's look that person up, see if there's any synchronicity with that person who did the tribute, to see what they were up to. Mathau Kedid. I don't even know who that person is, but apparently they're pretty important. French rock singer, apparently. This is him or her. Born on the 21st. This is the day that Jesus Christ was conceived in the womb. Conceived, not born. He was conceived. This is the darkest day of the year, winter solstice. Christ was conceived in this world to bring light to the world. Ooh, okay. So he's 44. So this is all about the Antichrist, because Obama's the 44th president. So this is what they're talking about here. So this is all about, so he was born on the day Christ was conceived. And then he's 44 years old right now, which is Obama, which many believe he's like the Antichrist, or the first president that has the Antichrist spirit, at least, even if he's not the Antichrist. So if you back out this date from the time that the egg leaves the ovary of the the egg leaves the ovaries, that would be December 7th. And then on the 21st, conception occurs, the sperm meets the egg, and then you count 38 weeks after that, and that's 9/11, which is when Christ was born. Okay, that's all encoded in this man's birthday and all this dates. That's why Pearl Harbor happened on December 7th, the date that Jesus' pearl was coming out of, down through the harbor of Mary, out of the ovaries. His pearl is significant. It is symbolizes the egg, right? The ovum. And then on the 21st of December, conception occurs. The sperm meets the egg. And then, as I said, 38 weeks later, at that point, this is birth. That's the gestational period for a human child, and that falls on 9/11. So that's how all that went. So apparently this guy's encoded into the matrix. Wow, pretty amazing stuff. Now his nickname is M, which is the, what is this, the 13th letter of the alphabet. Okay, his nickname's M. Let's see if he's got any 13 references, which is the Antichrist number, right? 13. All this fits in. M. Here he is. He's like a Prince type character, it almost looks like, with the gaudy uniform outfits and, you know, and all that. So let's go back in here. Where were we? Hey guys, let's see here. Okay, so he was performing here apparently. That's his band or his group, a tribute to Prince. So we just decoded that. There's purple, red and blue make purple. And I always like to impress everybody with wearing, you know, things dressed in appropriately. She's got the black and white shoes on, which is, of course, the Masonic shoes. Now I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek into what we're going to talk about on Friday. And it's going to blow you away. Let's close up some of these. Now, let's go back in here. And then we're going to pop off of here, you guys. So I don't want to be on here too long. All right. What do we have here? All right. So here it is. These are the slides we're going to talk about. And as you can see here, this is it, front and center. There's your Masonic arch, the arch bail. Remember, here's the Masonic arch here. Let's take a look at this. And in this arch, whoops, they show us a 69 at the keystone, okay? And this is all Masonic, right? This is why we saw the actress wearing the checkerboard shoes at the Cannes Film Festival, see? Because they know it's the 69th Cannes Film Festival, and this is all about the center. This is called the keystone. Without this, the arch falls, you see? So there's something special about this year, and Cannes Film Festival has a very large part to do with it. But in looking at this, we see 69, chaos, and he's the Fresh Prince of Baal, air, right? Baal, air, the prince of the power of the air. Now, there's more inside this graffiti that we're going to decode in some of these other slides. It reveals all kinds of plans that they had for this year. And of course, the bombshell is that the Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, did die in the 69 year. So it's like they were foreshadowing his death right here in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air opening sequence. So we're going to go into detail on that, you guys, on Friday. And I'll probably have much more to present to you because I like to continue to research this stuff all the way down to the nitty gritty. Let me get some shout outs. Real Sweet, Ozaru, Kali, KHS22. Yeah, it said chaos underneath the 69. You get it? This is the year. There's something going on this year. Rosa, Start, Michael, Brian, Dagger Spells, Callie. So, Symbol Seeker, Casey, what are your thoughts on Saint Lucifer holding a pitchfork, tone and frequency manipulation? The pitchfork goes back very, very far in history, which is why I put it on the t-shirts to show you that is why they implemented the pitchfork into the design of the World Trade Center. Let me show you that. It was actually part of the architecture of the World Trade Center. I put it on the t-shirts as a information piece, as a conversation starter for people to say, why do you have what looks like a pitchfork or a trident on that shirt? And this is what you tell them. The World Trade Center was specifically constructed with this design to hide occult symbolism that would foreshadow its destruction, pretty much. Here it is. Here's one of the World Trade Center memorials. I think they have these also down in the museum underground. These are the tridents. This was actually part of the wreckage of the World Trade Center. Now, what is the trident, you're asking? The trident goes back to Neptune. Neptune. Okay, all of these gods, these titans, are iterations of the devil. Okay, so he keeps transforming himself into all these different figures, but they all have the same what do you call it? The same purpose. They all have the same symbols. They have the same purpose. This is Neptune, the planet. It's got the pitchfork. The pitchfork is the trident. They do everything in threes. You heard LaToya Jackson say that they do everything in threes. That's why they do everything in threes, because it's all about this pitchfork. It's all about the Antichrist, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It's their Trinity, you see. But it's the Father is Satan, then he's got a son, and then there's like demonic possession, which is like the spirit, right? We're seeing, you guys, there's some crazy stuff, some crazy footage out there on Flocka. And you guys, I gotta be honest with you, very few things shock me anymore. Very few things shock me anymore. And so here's what happens. It gets to the point where you start seeing these things and then you know what you're looking at. And that is Flocka, and that is demon possession. Now, I wouldn't recommend any of you going into looking at on YouTube some of these, the effects of Flocka. I just wouldn't recommend it unless you are very strong in the spirit and a warrior for God, and you have your armor on and you have no fear in your life. If you have any fear in your life, do not watch those videos, because it almost comes through the television. Now, here's what got me like thinking, because before this drug ever had these effects on people, they were doing zombie movies back in the 70s and 80s that mimic exactly the way that these people are behaving on Flocka, where they're twitching and their arms are asymmetrical. They've got one behind them and one in front, and their heads are sideways, and they either move really slow or they move really fast. And there are scenes of some of these people on this drug running from across the street and ramming their head through the windshields of people's car, caught on camera, and actually breaking their head through the windshield of the car and having no effect. Exactly the kind of cinematography that you would see in a zombie movie from 10 years ago. It's unbelievable, you guys. And it seems like they have some kind of superhuman protection or shielding, because if any of you have been in a car accident without your seatbelt on, your head's gone through the windshield, you've had a concussion, you maybe had a broken neck, you maybe you were knocked out for sure, knocked unconscious, and they show these people on this stuff ramming their head through windows that should break their neck, cut them up, knock them out, and they just walk away or they run away. They're not even fazed by it. So that's what's going on, you guys. That's what we're up against. And okay, here's what I think is going on. I believe that they are testing the stuff that they're going to spray on us next. That's what they do with drugs. They release these things into the market. They see the effects. They gather all of the data under the National Security Act. They can gather all the crime statistics. They get police reports on the stuff. And then they formulate how they're going to unleash this stuff so they can get their chaos, which is what we just showed you in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air under the 69. That's what they want. And then chaos allows them to impose their martial law and their rules, right? So I believe that is what's going on. I believe they're giving it to us in load, or they're releasing it on the street, and they're gonna, Real Sweet says they're basically giving it away for free. $3 in Florida costs less than crack. So you got to ask yourself, why would they be doing it? Why would they make it so cheap to get this stuff? Because they're testing it, you guys. They're watching. They're like, what kind of pharmakia can we unleash on these people? And then what they're going to do, they're going to start in the big cities. This is why I keep telling you guys, get out of the big cities, because it's easier. You're all compacted into one place, one flyover, and people start acting nuts. And then they'll blame it on something else. They won't blame it on Flocka. And because all of the chemists are bought and sold, no one's gonna be able to test and see what's really going on with the air samples. You see how this works? This is why they pay the scientists off to do this stuff. That's why scientists believe in global warming, because if they don't play along to go along, then they won't have jobs. They won't be tenured. They'll be laughed out of the school, right? And so if they're going to spend $200,000 in education, they're going to just say whatever they're supposed to say. Okay? I've said many times on this channel, if there's any chemists out there that can do testing, I know Dabu's asked the same, he's made the same request, because we need testing that is outside of the beast system. So when things come up, we can test water quality, we can test for fluoride, we can test for lead poisoning, we can test. Right now, all that stuff is done under very, very tight circumstances. Okay. And even if you went in and asked somebody and paid for it to have happen, you'd probably be flagged as a weirdo, and they probably wouldn't even do the testing for you. That's where this world is headed, you guys. We can't even get testing that's not outside the beast system. So I believe that they're testing this Flocka on everybody. And I believe that's what they do with all these drugs, you guys. I'm sorry, but that's what's going on, you know? And then they get you dependent, codependent on the system so that you'll never break away. And that's the truth. That's the truth, you guys. So, what else we got here? Talked about Flocka. I don't know how we got on the Flocka thing, but yeah, we'll get into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're going to tie that into Saturnalia. I also found Baal associations with the Saturnalia festival, which makes perfect sense. We're going to talk about that. And thanks you guys for coming out tonight. It seems like more of you are starting to come out now toward the end of the day here. You guys, we do have a shield of protection. Okay. No weapon shall prosper against us. In fact, that will be the reason why they hate us, because we won't be affected by the same things they're affected by. This is all in the book of Revelation. It says that. It says that there will come a time where the plagues will come, and there will be some of us who do not suffer from the plagues. Okay. And then that will enrage them against the children of God, us here on earth that are left. And then when they make their final approach to try to kill us, then God will like intervene. Okay. Yeah, no fear. So that's what's going on, you guys. I'm just speaking to you real. And sometimes that's not what people want to hear. People don't want to hear that all of the people that they looked up to at the top, who we've been given the perception of, that worked really hard and had a career and are entertaining us, they don't want to believe that those people are working for the devil. They just don't want to believe it. I had a friend, he's still my friend actually, and here's what's crazy. Okay, I'm going to share something with you guys. There's okay, let's find this. Google the Partyman. This is called the Partyman. Okay, he's gonna kill me for sharing this, but I'm gonna share it with him. I don't talk to Nelson very often. Watch. Oh, Prince. I don't talk to Nelson very often, but he called me today and he said, "What do you think about Prince?" And he actually saw Prince like 5 years ago at the forum. And I'm like, dude, I go, it's pretty dark, man. I go, you need to come to my YouTube channel and check it out, because, you know, you got to wake up. And he's driving for not Uber, but there's another one. And he says he's making good money driving people around. I said, good for you, man, because he's kind of struggled in the past financially. So now he's able to support his family down in the Los Angeles area. Now, this friend that I had was one of my best friends when I was a Seventh-day Adventist, and he was into Hollywood, you know, kind of chasing after that. And I was just starting to wake up to all this stuff. And he's met Jay Leno and all these stars, you know, he goes to the sets and stuff like that. And he got a couple of gigs back in the day when he was working. And this was one of his gigs. He was actually on the set of this music video by Prince. Let's see if we can find it. Did I click on it? Where is it? Metro lyrics, A to Z lyrics. Oh, I think this is it right here. So he's like, dude, I'm in this music video from back in the day. And so I look, okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, I'm just going to play the first part of this and I'm going to leave it in the frame. So this starts out of, I mean, look at this. And I'm watching this, there's chandeliers and all this, right? And we'll just kind of skip to the parts. Okay, so he goes, I'm next to the girl in the fish tank. And I go, girl in the fish tank? And it's funny because I think he's in his 50s now, and I'm 43. And so watch this. Listen very carefully. You're gonna see my friend in the Prince video.
How you doing? Some party, huh?
How you doing? Some party, huh? Now, I've known this guy since, I guess it was been 2003, maybe. And he used to say that to me. And I was like, that's so corny. Like, why do you say that? How you doing? Some party, huh? And now it makes sense. Like, you know, this is what happens to us, you guys. Wandering after the beast, right? And he was basically parroting a role that he had in Prince's music video from 1989, you see? And if we're not careful, this is what we all aspire to. Now, look how demonic this video is. These people are dressed in all this eyes wide shut, masks. Now, this, okay, in all fairness, this was linked to the film The Batman, in which Prince did a song. And basically, let's play a little bit more of this. I got to be very careful. So Prince comes out, you know, in all his glory, right? There he is. They got a big shadow. Now look at this. Look at this. Let's pull this up. Gosh, this is creepy. Now, Jonathan Kleck did a video comparing the Alta Palmyra to this bar that Obama wants to make a national monument, right? So check that out on Jonathan Kleck's channel. This is the Arch of Palmyra. Remember, I've told you guys, Prince is the prince of the power of the air. He's Baal. I showed you that in Under the Cherry Moon. His letterhead is the symbol for Baal. Remember I showed you guys that? Well, here's the Arch of Palmyra. And here is what Prince comes out through in his music video. And you can't make this up. This probably should be our side-by-side, but this isn't the subject of this video, so people are going to be like, they're not going to understand. But basically, he's got the Arch of Palmyra that he walks out through in this music video. He comes down these stairs, and he does this amazing choreographed thing. You know, you hear my friend in the background, and I'm going, and then remember, Prince's name is Prince Rogers Nelson, and my friend's name is Nelson. So at this point of the conversation with him, I start freaking out a little bit. I'm like, dude, you need to go in prayer and you need to repent, brother, because this is about as satanic as it gets. So I'm telling him this, and he doesn't get it, right? He doesn't get it. Now, here's another thing. This is the Batman. And remember, this year we had Batman versus Superman. We don't have Batman movies every year, but this year we had Batman versus Superman, which was linked back to the I Am Legend film as well. So Prince comes out, he's dancing around. They got an actual monkey in this video. And my friend told me that the monkey was the highlight of the music video, was the most difficult part because the monkey didn't want to behave. And I'm like, this is just so bizarre that all these people would want to do this just to be next to Prince. It's like a ritual almost. Now, the lyrics to this song are troubling. Prince is dressed like, let's close this. Prince comes out and he's dressed like, uh-oh, don't do this to me. See, this is what happens. Why did that go there? Keep videos. Okay, Prince comes out and he's dressed like the Joker. Let's look and see if there's any. close-ups of his face. There we go. There's a good close-up of Prince's face, dressed like the Joker. Now, he's got the green hair on one side. His face is cut in half, like, you know, like the Joker. I guess the Joker was dressed like that. He's in all purple. There's the Arch of Baal, right? Now, this is crazy. Look at the lyrics to this song. Let's go in here. Now, I'm not going to say Prince didn't turn around in the end, and maybe that's why they killed him. But how many times do we see people that didn't turn around that they sacrificed? So it doesn't mean just because they killed him that he just turned good. That doesn't mean anything. You have to look at the fruit, you guys. The fruit. Let's look at this. Partyman. Lyrics. Prince. Okay. This is nuts. It talks about the coming Antichrist. This links us all the way back into everything we were just talking about. Okay. The guy who did the tribute at the Cannes Film Festival, being 44 years old, being born on the day Christ was conceived. Look at the lyrics to this. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. All hail the new king in town. Young and old gather round. Black and white, red and green. Now he's describing the Joker, but everybody knows the Joker is the devil, right? You know that, right? When you open a deck of playing cards, the Joker is the devil. Red and green, that's also the dragon colors. Black and white, those are Masonic colors. Black and white is the Masonic colors. There's your arch. There's Prince with his arch. If you could put a 69 at the keystone, that would be all you need to do to have a slam dunk. Tell you what his name is. Partyman, right? It's all about the party. Rock a party like nobody can. Rules and regulations, no place in his nation. Partyman. It was almost like he was foreshadowing the coming of Obama in his let's party attitude. Gay marriage, sure. Whatever you want, right? Party people, say it now. Somebody holler if you want to party. No pictures, please. Now, I saw a video uploaded by, what's her name? She did like a tribute kind of to Prince. Sheila Aliens, that's her name. And in that video, she talks about how anyone who tried to take a picture of Prince on their phone, it actually erased the picture of Prince on their phone. This didn't happen just once. There were 3 different people in her video that talked about times when they tried to take pictures of Prince, and when they left, all of their phones were empty, only of the pictures of Prince. Now, does that sound normal to you guys? I don't think so. Now, this is interesting too. This is going to blow your mind because let me see if we're still connected here, because I could just be talking to myself, right? Okay, you guys are all still here. This is crazy. Now, put on your armor. My friend told me that there was a lunar eclipse the night that they filmed this. And he remembers. And I'm like, how would you even remember something like that? He goes, because they made sure they filmed it on the night of the eclipse. So I looked up. He said it was in August. So I looked this up. Because, you know, a lot of people lie and say stuff. He's like, I met Prince a couple times. And let's see here. Let's put this, let's see here. Eclipse, 1989, August. Here it is. Now, all of you know that Prince died under a cherry moon, just like the song, right? There were 12 moons this year, and only one of them was called a pink moon. The rest were like harvest moon, hay moon, this moon, that moon. There's one pink moon, and that's the moon that Prince died on. It was a full moon, okay? Under a cherry moon, which is the movie he did and the song and an album that he did. Here it is. Here's the 1989 lunar eclipse. This is nuts. They filmed it on the 17th of August. And in the lyrics to the song, This is why I laugh when people don't believe in numerology and they don't get that the elite use this stuff. The lyrics to the song says, in the west, 17 horns blowing, and he's referencing the eclipse on the 17th, which is the night they filmed the music video. Unbelievable. Lunar eclipse. And in fact, the lunar eclipse rose over parts of North America. Okay. That's us, you guys. These people worship the moon. So, what else these lyrics say? Couldn't find any other clues. Now, I think it was 27 years later that he died, but that's not 17, so we're not going to draw that association with that. Okay. Party man, everybody's, let's all party, right? Now, I try to decode this video, but as you can see, the picture quality on it is horrible, so you can't make out any numbers or anything. You just see kind of like blurriness, and some of the scenes go by pretty fast, and even if you pause them, you don't even really know what you're looking at. But there is a monkey in this music video. This music video is very hard to find. If you type in Prince Partyman on YouTube, you will not find this music video. It's a very obscure music video, okay? But there it is. There's the bell arch, okay? The 69 is the year he would die, so this is kind of like symbolic. All right, let's pop back here in the chat. Love you guys. And what else we have going on? Yeah, Brian's in the house. Truth Viral. Callie, Rosa. All right. You know, Zara's manning the mod section. Very good. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. Someone says Wilson says they're off shift. You know, it's really weird. Like sometimes the videos I'll have 0 thumbs down, like on a weekend or holiday weekend. And I know that these people actually literally work for the government, because my video come up, all of my real fans and real people that come to this channel and real subscribers come in, and I'll have 40 thumbs up and 0 thumbs down. And as soon as the holiday weekend's over, they get off, you know, they come back to work. They're probably in some big building somewhere. And then they all of a sudden you'll see 5, 10 thumbs down. It's hilarious. It's like a game. And it's like the more sometimes I like exposing it, because it actually, we basically put the mirror in their face like vampires, and they can't look at themselves. And then we're even more powerful. It like magnifies the effect of the righteousness on this channel. You see what I mean? Because we're exposing how hard they're working to discredit us, you see. And so, yeah, you can always tell the days of the troll. And sometimes I'll turn back on the ratings so you guys can see the real ratings while the trolls are out of town, right? And then as soon as they come back, I'll turn the ratings off. But then you guys will see little glimpses. You'll be like, oh, cool, everyone likes this video. That's the real response. The fake response are all the people that I've blocked who've come on here and told us we all need to be on medication or thrown in jail. Automatically, you're going to get blocked for that. And so they're mad. So they go and get these shill accounts, and they just come over here and just create havoc. It's like their job to try to discredit me. And that's fine. Good luck. Anyway, you guys, I'm probably going to pop off of here. I'll probably hang out in the chat a little bit longer. But I do want this video to be somewhat short so it can get shared more and viewed more, okay? Love you guys. Take care and be safe.